Hey, this is Irene, single Christian girl. Welcome to another episode in our series, Jesus Reads. Basically, Jesus reads you. And previously, we were talking about the blind man. And we're going to continue where we left off, John chapter 9, going into verse 13. They brought to the Pharisees him that aforetime was blind, and it was the Sabbath day when Jesus made the clay and opened his eyes. Then again the Pharisees also asked him how he had received his sight. He said unto them, He put clay upon my eyes and washed, and I washed and do see. Therefore said some of the Pharisees, This man is not of God, because he keepeth not the Sabbath day. Others said, How can a man that is a sinner do such miracles? And there was a division among them. I already see Jesus reading the situation when he's not even present, just by the miracle again that he brought forth. People are now in a state of confusion. Some are looking at the negatives and are against him, and some are looking at the positives and saying, he must be of God. So people are kind of in a state of confusion, and I feel like the situation is getting read at this time because, of course, the Pharisees want everyone to be against Jesus, but that's not happening. Especially that's the fruit of this miracle, is that people are now not sure if the Pharisees are correct. They're not sure about all the hate that is being placed on Jesus. They're not sure if that's real. Now they're thinking he may be of God. They say unto the blind man again, What sayest thou of him that he hath opened thine eyes? He said he is a prophet. But the Jews did not believe concerning him that he had been blind, and received his sight, until they called the parents of him that had received his sight. And they asked them, saying, Is this your son, who ye say was born blind? How then doeth he now see? So the Pharisees are trying to get all the receipts they can. They're pulling the parents. They're going through the bloodline, trying to see, okay, is this really real? Verse 20, his parents answered them and said, We know that this is our son, and that he was born blind. But by what means he now seeth, we know not, or who hath opened his eyes, we know not. He is of age, ask him. He shall speak for himself. It's like, you guys didn't even have to pull us, because the miracle is the miracle. Sometimes we can't always take things for face value, especially if we have a negative stigma in our minds, or we want to think the worst of something or someone, that we can't just take the thing for what it is. He's grown. Talk to him. He can speak for himself. These words spake his parents because they feared the Jews, in verse 22. For the Jews had agreed already that if any man did confess that he was Christ, he should be put out of the synagogue. Wow. So, yeah, the Pharisees, the Jews, all against Christ. So, again, people are now confused, and people are trying to fit the status quo because this is what people are saying, but they're still thinking he may be of God. Therefore said his parents, He is of age, ask him. Then again called they the man that was blind, and said unto him, Give God the praise. We know that this man is a sinner. He answered and said, Whether he be a sinner or no, I know not. One thing I know, that whereas I was blind, now I see. Okay, so they're saying, give God the praise that this happened to you, because that man was a sinner. There's no way he could have performed this for you. God just decided to do what he did. I guess that's what they're saying. Correct me if I'm wrong, fam. Um, Email me at cbiztv@yahoo.com, or drop your thoughts in the comments. But he says, I know not. One thing I know, that whereas I was blind, now I see. I don't know if he was a sinner. I don't know where he came from. But the proof is in the pudding, fam. The proof is in the pudding. I can see now. So this has to be something supernatural. This has to be something big. And all the negativity and hate you're putting on him, on Jesus, I mean, this is just coming from you, really, because there is more to this. The proof's right there. The proof's right there. Then said they to him again, verse 26, what did he to thee? How opened he thine eyes? He answered them, I've already told you, and you did not hear. Wherefore would you hear it again? Will ye also be his disciples? Mm. So now the blind man is reading them like, all right, I keep telling you this the facts. I mean, the story has not changed. Now he's reading them and reading the situation after God had blessed him and healed him. He's gonna read the room, and he's like, they're asking like, how did he do it and all this. I don't know if they're trying to get the secret or what they're feeling, but anyway, he's like, I told you and you didn't hear me. And if I tell you again, will you go be his disciples? I mean, what are you gonna do with this information? Are you gonna make a change? What are you gonna do? Then they reviled him and said, Thou art his disciple, but we are Moses' disciples. We know that God spake unto Moses, as for this fellow, we know not from whence he is. The man answered and said unto them, Why, herein is a marvelous thing, that ye know not from whence he is, and yet he hath opened mine eyes. Now we know that God heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshipper of God, and doeth his will, him he heareth. Since the world began, was it not heard that any man opened the eyes of one that was born blind? If this man were not of God, he could do nothing. They answered and said unto him, Thou wast altogether born in sins, and doest thou teach us? And they cast him out. So now I'm saying, like, what do you know? You've been born in sin anyway. You're basically a nobody. You don't have the prestige. You don't have you can't teach us any lessons because we are the heads of the temple or whatnot. We're the Pharisees. So, he's schooling them, he's reading them in this moment, and they don't want to hear the words that are being read. So they cast him out. Jesus heard that they had cast him out, and when he had found him, he said unto him, Doest thou believe on the Son of God? He answered and said, Who is he, Lord, that I might believe on him? And Jesus said unto him, Thou hast both seen him, and it is he that talketh with thee. And he said, Lord, I believe. And he worshipped him. And Jesus said, For judgment I am come into this world, that they which see not might see, and that they which see might be made blind. And some of the Pharisees which were with him heard these words, and said unto him, Are we blind also? Jesus said unto them, If ye were blind, ye should have no sin. But now ye say, We see, therefore your sin remaineth. Okay, that was kind of deep. The way that ended, if you kind of twist that around, he said, If you were blind, you should have no sin. But now ye say, We see, therefore your sin remaineth. So you don't realize that you're blind, because you don't realize that you are still blind, and you're not accepting this miracle from God, and you're not being open-minded about the possibilities of what God can do, and you're stuck on Moses. You're still blind. Therefore, you think you can see, but you're blind. That was a beautiful, you know, the young man went to Jesus, found this young man after the fact, and he got saved and he gave his life to him. So it's the power of the miracle. It's the power of Jesus reading the situation and healing the young man. The young man being now put in a situation where he's being the person that healed him is being judged, and he then reads the room there and tells him, hey, look, the proof is in the pudding right here. Basically, I can see. And then finally, Jesus coming to him and giving him the opportunity to give his life to Christ. It's just like a moment of awakening, a moment of revelation. Like he's finally woke. Not only can he see with his eyes, he can see spiritually. This is just like such a deep, awesome message in this chapter. Jesus is really reading the situation here, and I think what we can glean from this is be open-minded. Even if you're in the church, you're not in the church, you grew up and were raised a certain type of way, you have certain thought process of what you think things are. Open your mind to possibilities. Don't be stuck in what you think or what you thought or what you're used to. And especially if you see something happen that's amazing and miraculous. And I can see that today. You may not see a man's hand do it, but God still has the power to move and do it. And even sometimes a man's hand is involved, but Jesus went and worked through that man. Whatever the case, we need to be more open-minded, less rigid, less judgmental. For both of these the last session and this one where we talk about Jesus Reads, it's all about being judgmental. It's all about, even when something's right in your face, you can be so bullheaded to not even want to see it, accept it, or respect it. And it's kind of like, let your guard down. Open your mind. Things can be bigger than what you think or what you see. And realize that you are blind. If you don't allow yourself to see the full picture, if you don't allow yourself to see that there's more, there's always more. There's always more beyond what our perception and our perspective is. So look for more. And don't be blind to the situation. Don't be spiritually blind. Don't be blind to the fact that you're sitting there judging people. Look at yourself. Look at your own sins. Don't be self-righteous. A lot of lessons in here, a lot of things you can glean. And I want to know, what really resonated for you in this chapter. And I hope that if you were blind, you can now see. You can even give your life to Christ, because that's what the young man did there in this chapter as well. You can give your life to Christ. All of that. It's a beautiful thing. Thoughts, comments, questions? Email me at cbiztv@yahoo.com. Drop something in the comments, and we'll be back more with As God Leads, more sessions of Jesus Reads, and other content that hopefully blesses you. Our shorts. We hope that you're enjoying and being blessed, and let us know what you're into and what you like to hear, what you like to see. We'll be back again. This is Irene. All the best. God bless.